cough. I've had a cough for the past week and it's taking it out of me. But anyway, there is a quote which I use a lot, and it is this: failing to plan is planning to fail. This was attributed to Benjamin Franklin. I think about this a lot whenever I am trying to achieve anything, any type of goal. Then I try to make a plan, because if I don't, I know I'm just going to fail. It would just be an idea. Whereas we know that the Toastmasters year runs from the 1st of July to the 30th of June. So this is our first Toastmasters meeting. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes just to reflect on what I have been doing over the last year from 2020 to 2021, and then look forward to what are some of the goals that I'm set for myself for 2021 to 2022. And I hope you'll find them to be of interest, but also to perhaps inspire you if you haven't set goals for yourself, or things that you could achieve over the coming year. So I set roughly 7 goals for this last year, from last year to this year. The first one was to be able to give a speech in both French and Spanish. The second was to be able to try and write something in French and Spanish. The third idea was to try and improve my ability to understand French and Spanish. Then to improve my spoken French and Spanish, to improve how I use Zoom, reading on Zoom, just generally using Zoom. The sixth one was how to use slides better. And the final one was to try and write interesting stories. Well, I thought I did okay with these things, and I'd like to show you some of the things I did to achieve those goals. The first one, giving a speech in French and Spanish, it's not easy to speak in a foreign language. I was trying to do it in 2, but I started off with the icebreaker. Icebreaker is something I knew about. I could write about it quite easily. But the issue I needed was, how do I get the language right? And I did this by asking for help from members that experience French and Sardinero. And particularly, I'd like to thank, unfortunately, she's not here tonight. I'd like to thank Angela, who helped me a lot with my written Spanish. Now, getting the writing correct was an important step, because it then helped me to focus on how I pronounce words in Spanish, how fluent I was when I was speaking. And to help me, I've got a little tool, which I will send you the link for, where you can take the text of any speech, put it into the system, and then it will download it into an MP3, and then you can listen back in pretty close to natural language. And I found that it was helping me to pronounce words, particularly French. French is hard, but that helped me a lot. The listening skills I improved by listening to the radio. And I've shared with this before, a website called Radio Garden, where I listen to French or Spanish during the course of the day, but passively. I just have it in the background, don't pay too much attention to it. Occasionally I hear a few words, and I have found my comprehension of Spanish and French has improved just by passively listening to people. I don't know how it works, but it seems to work. The next thing I've been doing is to speak out loud, to practice speaking out loud. So what I do is I've got a free Zoom account, and I speak to the camera as if I'm in the meeting. And I'm finding that I spot the areas in the speech that I find difficult to say, and then I can go over them and over again, and then I can ask for help to do these. The last one was to tell stories. So I looked at books, got my encyclopedias out, tried to write Spanish themes, French themes, and just to see how that worked. And I think I've done okay, but I can do more. So the goals ahead are going to build on what I've been doing. And again, I've got 7 ideas that I'm going to explore. The first is just carry on writing good 7-minute speeches. Next one is to deliver speeches without having to read them, like I've been saying to Maria. The next one is to stand up. I'll come back to that in a minute. To do evaluations in French and Spanish, to take on the Toastmasters role in French and Spanish, to visit other clubs, and to finish pathways, because I've got stuck on a few pathways and I want to come back to that. Now, writing a 7-minute story, that has taken a lot of time to work out how to do it. But what I'm looking for is a good beginning, a good middle, and a good end. And I think I started to achieve that with the Ukbar Borges story that you may remember, the Maigret stories. And I'm getting the idea of how to do this. So I'm going to carry on to try and get them even better. I know I need to speak without notes, and that's going to be one of the challenges. And the standing issue it's more of a technical problem, because I've got my equipment already set up, and to stand I have to change everything. But I'm going to give that a go and see how that works out. Similarly with evaluations, that's tied up with comprehension for me, but I will be doing more, or trying to do more of doing that. And I know that visiting other clubs, I've always found this is a great way for me to see how I stack up against other people. So how do I understand them as I understand all of you people in this club? And then finally, with the pathways, well, I'm going to achieve presentation mastery and strategic relationships by the end of next year. So those are my speaking goals, but I've got other goals. As you know, I play the guitar, but my knowledge of music isn't that great. So I've set myself another goal where I'm going to do some music theory, and I'm going to be using the UK grading system to inspire me. That's about me. What about you? What are your goals for the year ahead? Do you have goals? Or if you've just listened to me, is it too much what I've been trying to do? If it is, here are 3 things that perhaps you might want to think about doing. Anything you want to try and to achieve, these 3 things work. The first thing is to write it down. Putting it down on paper helps me. It will help you too. Gives you an idea. You can change your mind, but write it down. The second, and this is a key one, ask for help. Be specific. What help do you need? Why do you need it? Ask. If the person says no, they're too busy, that's fine. Ask someone else. But ask. That's what I do. And I have a lot of people who help me. And then the third one is just to do it, to take action. I know it's scary, but do it. And just keep going. But remember this, failing to plan is planning to fail. Take these 3 ideas and see what they will do to help you. That's what I'm going to be doing for myself, and I know I'm going to succeed. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.